All right, welcome to the channel. Um, Subscribe to the channel. I know you saw the title, but what's crazy is I'm not going to talk about rabbits in this video. I'm actually going to talk about squirrels real quick in the beginning of the video. Okay, so boom. When I was a kid, uh, we at my house we had a squirrel problem where squirrels would get into our attic and stuff like that, right? So this, like, we noticed it. We heard a bunch of sounds, stuff like that. I don't know how we figured out that it was squirrels, but we figured out it was squirrels getting into the attic and they were damaging all the stuff up there, chewing through different things, stuff like that. This is a true story. Uh, so what do you think we had to do? We had to call, like, somebody who specializes with squirrels to come and get them up out of there and come to whatever, patch up any holes, whatever, of where the squirrels were getting in. So that's what we did. We called this guy. He specializes with squirrels. I'll never forget his name. As a matter of fact, I'm not going to mention his name just for, because he still does this for a living. So what we did was we set up a bunch of traps and stuff to get these squirrels and catch them, in these little metal, it's like a metal rectangular cage. We had a bunch of them sitting around, and we had some outside, set up different places outside around the house to catch any more squirrels to prevent the problem from keep happening, right? So I'll never forget that. As a kid, it was a no-brainer, like, to get rid of these squirrels and in a sense, kill them all. You get what I mean? Because it was becoming a problem for our house. So, long story short, and that's what the whole purpose of the squirrel traps were. You put some, like, nuts in there, and the squirrels go into the trap to try to eat the little thing, and they get stuck inside. And there's two different companies in my area. Two different squirrel companies. One of them, he puts poison in the traps. So if he puts a bunch of traps down around the house, around the yard, we will end up seeing a whole bunch of dead squirrels pop up. That's the business he was pitching to us, of what he's going to do to get rid of these squirrels. The other company, the other business, he says he doesn't kill them on spot. He just puts some nuts in the cages, catches them, brings them back to wherever his warehouse is, and puts them to sleep. So ultimately, both scenarios, the squirrels end up getting killed. I say that to say this. At the beginning of the summer, the problem came back. So the story I just gave to you, the squirrels getting into my attic, that was when I was a kid. We had the problem again at the beginning of the summer, but the squirrels didn't end up getting in our attic. What happened was, this summer, we just saw, this was the summer that we saw the most amount of squirrels in the front yard and the backyard, and so many of them. It's like it was an army of them all over the place, crawling up the trees, digging up the yard, like the grass. So in a sense, messing up the grass. And like, this is one of those situations where my mom said, before it gets to the problem again where squirrels are getting into our attic, I'm going to call the squirrel guy again and have these squirrels killed, and have these squirrels, taken away, and eliminate the problem. I don't want to see all these damn squirrels in my yard, because then they're going to start to get in my attic. So this time around, when she told me that she was going to do this, we got into this huge argument. I'll never forget, we got into this huge argument. This was at the beginning of the summer. I begged her not to do it. I said, they're not in our attic yet. Just leave them alone. They not bothering nobody. They're in their natural habitat. They're in their natural form of nature. Just let them do them. I feel like so and so fixed the problem years ago, patched up whatever holes in the house. So that means the squirrels won't get into the house. She's like, nope, I don't care. And she was looking at me like I'm crazy because she like, okay, I know you started your little vegan lifestyle, whatever. And mind you, I didn't go all the way vegan. I was a vegetarian, but it's still, I'm getting to my point. I'm more conscious about animal abuse and stuff like that. Like I'm getting weak. Like in the sense of the word, like I used to be the type of individual. I grew up Jamaican. I used to eat oxtail, all the different types of meat. I used to eat beef, ackee and saltfish. I grew up eating that. So my family actually is looking at me kind of crazy when I'm going completely against our traditions of not eating the meals that I always grew up eating. You get what I mean? So just the idea of, because we went through this whole thing again with the squirrels, like the whole idea of somebody coming with traps, laying them down, and all these squirrels that I see running around the yard ending up killed and put to sleep and, in traps and stuff. It was just very unsettling to me, to say the least. And mind you, I'm not all the way vegan yet. I've been vegetarian for over a year now. I wasn't perfect. I'll tell you that I wasn't perfect, but I was mostly vegetarian. And the reason I went vegetarian was not because of the animals. I went vegetarian because I used to live a certain type of lifestyle. I'm not glorifying it, but I used to live a certain type of lifestyle where I used to live my life minute to minute. I was getting money in the streets. I was selling weed, doing a whole bunch of stuff. I didn't have a job. I got my first job at the age of 28. So I was always in my car. I pretty much lived in my car at one point. So meaning I didn't have access to a kitchen where I could cook and stuff like that. So I ate out a lot and it started to take a toll on my body. I wasn't eating a lot of fast food, but I think over time, eating out a lot, when you eat a lot, like, when you at these restaurants and stuff, they put a lot of sodium in their food to attract customers and get them to keep coming back. They overdo it with their seasoning and stuff. So I think that's what was taking a toll on my system. I never went to the doctor, but I started feeling other types of symptoms of just my body degrading. I think I was experiencing high blood pressure. I don't know because I didn't go to the doctor and get it diagnosed, but I started feeling this like head pressure, headache. It wasn't really a headache, but it's just like I felt as though it was high blood pressure and even a little bit of like a sugar. Like I know every time I would drink like a slushy or something, my sugar would spike and I would feel that. You get what I mean? So that all of the, like those and many other reasons was why I adopted a vegetarian lifestyle overnight. Like I had enough of feeling like shit. So overnight I said, let me just cut out meat all the way. It was not because of the animals. But in learning about the lifestyle, I started learning more and more about how there's a whole community that does this, that does not eat meat. And they are huge advocates for not mass killing animals and stuff like that. The vegan community, I started tapping into that. There was a lot of people who, I was not alone. A lot of people eat this way, but not because maybe they had health issues, because maybe they cared about the animals. And also a lot of people did this because they also were experiencing health issues as well. So along the way, the longer and longer that I was eating plant-based foods, and mind you, I want to get this out the way. Vegetarians and vegans do not just eat salad. Like we eat very good food. When I first started this channel, I was posting my meals and stuff. It wasn't picture perfect, like, because, I'm not a photographer and stuff like that, but we eat stuff like pasta, rice dishes. If you're Jamaican, you probably eat kalaloo, stuff like that. So That's all the stuff I was eating, stuff like that, and I'm saying like this doesn't apply to vegans, but vegetarians could still eat like mac and cheese, stuff like that, grilled cheese sandwiches, stuff like that. So we can make it good. You know, see, it's not just we're eating salads and it's boring and stuff like that. That's not how it goes. So where did I leave off at that I was making my point? Okay, so over this past year, I've been experiencing a shift in mindset when it comes to what I think about food and what I think about animals and stuff like that. Like I said, it didn't start off this way, but I noticed like regular activities that people would find so much fun and it's normal. Like it's normal is, for an example, fishing. Like fishing is an activity rich people do. No, not only rich people. The reason why I said that, the reason why I just said that is because I have been fishing before. I will make a video about that. I have been fishing before, and we had to pay a lot of money to go on these rich white people's boats. Like we had to pay them like let's say it costed like 5,000. I'm just throwing out a number, but it was in the thousands. We had to pay them. They own their own boats. They were like experts at sport fishing, and they know how to catch these big New England bass fish. So I have been fishing before, and the idea of fishing came up again recently within this past year that I've been a vegetarian, and it was unsettling to me. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to go, but I'll save that for another video. Um, so to continue on with my point, like regular, normal, everyday things that people are start to like that people love to do, they don't think about, these are animals, these are dead animals. I do, because I've been tapping into this lifestyle. So I'm coming across as a little bit crazy to a lot of people that have known me my whole life. I'm coming across as a little bit like out of the ordinary. Like, I'm coming across as crazy because like my family, for instance, they're like, what the fuck? Why wouldn't you want to go fishing? You know what I'm saying? It's a day out. You're on the water. You have the good view, blah, blah, blah. They're not even thinking, they're doing fish gutting rituals. They're not even thinking about that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just a normal part of our culture of human nature. We consume animals, correct? So I know, and mind you, like, okay, so when I say I'm vegetarian too, I know that that still includes certain animal products because I'm not all the way vegan yet, but I'll put it into perspective for you. I understand that I'm still, you know, partaking in the killing of animals by eating stuff like cheese and stuff. Listen, I do not drink milk. I don't like milk. I know, and I had mentioned this in another video that I am still drinking milk, but I didn't mean I was drinking milk. What I meant by that was I meant to say dairy because I don't like milk. I don't do milk. I'm sure, but I still eat cheese. I still eat cheese. It's hard for me to give that up. So I'm actually on my personal journey. I can't speak for everybody else. This is just where I'm at right now. And where I live, the stove top isn't really working. Our kitchen needs to be renovated. So we only have one eye working. And due to my previous lifestyle, I still have this like lazy mindset where I want to save myself time and I want to buy my time back. And one of the ways I do that is by eating out. Because I feel if I eat out, all I'm doing is calling them up, hey, can I order for takeout? They make the food and I eat it. I don't have to spend a lot of time, like an hour plus making the food. It's too much work and it's taking up too much of my time that I could be using towards other things to be productive. So, long story short, I still struggle with eating out due to the fact that I want to buy back time, if that makes sense. And a part of my eating habits also requires, because I live with my family or whatever, I still live with my family. Sometimes how we save money is we will bring back food for the whole family, or we'll bring back food for the whole family so that we don't really have to spend too much money on our own on food. So sometimes my mom and my brother will bring home food and they'll be like, David, what do you want? They know I'm plant-based now. They know I don't eat meat. But maybe they're on their way home from work, so they don't want to have to deal with, oh, you making me run all over the place, you taking me out the way, because I gotta figure out what is vegan and what is not, because they'll fuck up sometimes and they'll get like vegetarian stuff, maybe like cheese pizza. They're like, I ain't put no meat in there. Is that cool with you? So that's why I ultimately am vegetarian. I haven't gone all the way vegan yet because I'm still in an environment that is kind of impossible with my financial situation to be all the way vegan, being that sometimes I have to save money and my family already got food in the house. Do that make sense? So, um, yeah, this is like a update on my journey. Like I'll be making more videos about this because, and the reason why I kind of stopped making videos on this is because I'm still um in the beginning stages of the journey. So for an example, I started feeling symptoms of anemia, like being anemic, because I didn't know any better. I didn't know that you have to plan the vegan diet carefully or else you will experience certain deficiencies. Like, for an example, I'll tell you my situation personally, but for an example, many people on a vegan diet suffer from vitamin B12 deficiency, uh, iron deficiency. So, as in regards to me, I suffered from iron deficiency. It was nothing I went to the doctor for. It was just a feeling of I'm about to faint, like that type of feeling, like I'm about to faint, like I don't, you get what I mean? So I did a lot of research on it. I did a lot of research. I was like, why am I feeling this way? And I educated myself even more on the common deficiencies that vegans will experience when, or vegetarians for that matter, when they are not eating right. They are not planning their meals right where they're getting all the nutrients that they are supposed to. So I'm gonna cut it short here. I will be making more videos about this as I go. But thank you for watching. If you stayed to the end of this video, please subscribe to the channel if you like my content. You know, I'm not gonna be a narcissist and say I got the best content ever, but I'm saying if you come across and you like a little bit of my journey, if you like some of the things I have to say, please subscribe to the channel. I will see you all in the next video.